Greetings to you all. My name is Benjamin Ferencz, and I'm speaking to you from Delray Beach, Florida. I'm sorry that I can't be with you to launch the very important new treatise on the crime of aggression and the international legal order. I want to congratulate Professor Klaus Kress, as well as Stefan Barriga, and all of the other authors who have contributed to what will certainly be a remarkable and comprehensive analysis of probably the most important problem in the world. If we could manage to stop aggression, then of course how the world would change. We would have to stop glorifying war. We would stop all the waving of the flags and of all the parades, which encourage people to be motivated by emotion rather than reason. And we would be able to provide the protection for all people under the Universal Declarations of Human Rights, which we have had for many years and ignored for many years. So it's a very important book for scholars to go into the details of what's holding it up. We do finally have a consensus definition of aggression, due in large part to Professor Klaus Kress's innovative addition of the requirement that it be a manifest violation of the UN Charter. Ever since then, scholars have been quibbling about almost every word in the statute as was adopted by consensus in Kampala a few years ago. They quibble because every good lawyer can quibble about every word in any document if he knows his client does not want to accept the document. That's exactly what's been happening. It was 70 years ago when the United Nations was formed. The first General Assembly of the United Nations called for the creation of an international criminal court, called for a definition of aggression. Now don't tell me that for 70 years states have been unable to agree on a definition of aggression which would be punishable and actionable in an international criminal court, which we finally got. The reason we can't do that is because some of the major powers just don't want it. And so they find an excuse to say, no, this is not clear enough, this is not clear enough, this has a danger here, but they don't come up with a solution saying this should be clear enough and we'll accept it. So it's playing a game. And in order to avoid that game, which you will see detailed in the new book which is coming out, I have suggested a shortcut. Don't call it aggression, call it a crime against humanity. What matters what it's called? The Russians called it a crime against peace in the International Military Tribunal. What matters is you stop people from doing what they're doing today. If heads of states can't agree, they send young people out, like you, young men and ladies, to kill other young people whom they don't even know. And they kill themselves on each side until they get tired of killing. Then they stop, each side declares victory. They rest a bit, then they start again. That is the current system. They're killing people they don't even know who may have done them no harm, who may have done nobody any harm. But they are clinging to their own ideals for which they're ready to kill and die. You cannot kill an ideology with a gun. You must have a better ideology. You must teach compassion. You must teach compromise. There's nothing weakness about compromise. It takes courage to compromise. And it also takes courage not to be discouraged. So I have shown in my own epilogue to that war makes murderers out of otherwise decent people. I was the chief prosecutor for the United States in the trial against the SS Einsatzgruppen, who murdered over 1 million people because they didn't share the race, the religion, or the ideology of their executioners. That was horrible. They killed hundreds of thousands of children for those reasons. And they're still doing the same thing today, while lawyers quibble about what is the correct definition, interpretation of manifest violation of Articles 125 or anything else. You must look, keep your eye on the ball. The goal is to create a more peaceful and humane world. We are still lacking courts with enforcement authority. The enforcement arm of the law is very weak. We should have had it. Big powers are not yet ready to accept third-party adjudication of whatever differences they have. As long as they have no third party to settle the disputes, the contestants have no other alternative than to settle it by force. And that's what they are doing. And I fear that's what they will continue doing. So it's up to you, lawyers and others, religious teachers, educators, to begin to teach compromise and compassion and understanding. That's the road, the only safe word to a more peaceful world in a cyberspace age. The world is getting much more dangerous. It requires new thinking outside the box and the courage to say we've had enough. Let us do only by peaceful means to achieve the world everybody wants. I wish you all the best of luck, and I hope you sell 1 million copies.